We saw him Saturday night. He had a basketball game, and so we went out afterwards to talk about the situation, had dinner and stuff, and instantly we got into stories about Don Haskins. And so at about 2:15 in the morning, Richard Adalto looked and said, you know, we ought to probably talk about the job now.
Gosh, it just feels right. It just feels right. I look around and I see so many people. 3 o'clock, called Bob at 2, just to tell him that I was so pumped up about this. That there's certain points in your life where you just don't really need to even think about it, need to even discuss it. And I just said, Bob, I want to come. And we didn't talk dollars, cents, whatever. Bob, I would like to talk to you about that as soon as this is over. But it's sentimental for other reasons. It's sentimental because I look over and I see former players. I see friends. I see my second mom in Mary Haskins, who I just spoken with last week, and love her like my mother. And Brent and David and Steve and the whole group. I came here when I was 22 years old and didn't know anything about the game of basketball. My father passed away when I was 17. Coach Haskins took me in at a time when I didn't deserve it based on my knowledge or experience of the game. He gave me an opportunity, gave me a chance. He has meant everything to me in terms of my professional career. I never took a job without talking to Coach to see if it would work or not work. I can remember being talked to by Iowa State University when I was at New Orleans, and I couldn't find Coach Haskins. He was off coyote hunting somewhere in New Mexico. And he had told me that if you ever have an athletic director you like and you love, just stay there. And we had good teams at New Orleans. University of New Orleans was going to be my UTEP that Don Haskins had. And I did a press conference that was televised live all over the state of Iowa. And I just made this decision on my own, and I said, you know, I prefer bass fishing over ice fishing. I'm not going to Iowa State University. The next day, Coach Haskins returned from his coyote hunting trip, heard about this, called me. He said, do you know what they were paying at Iowa State? And I said, yeah. And he said, you know what you're making in New Orleans? He said, get your butt back up to Iowa, tell them that you're going to Iowa State. and I think about him every day, but this job that I took, I knew that I wouldn't have to call him. I knew what he would tell me, you know, come back home. And that's where we are. And as I proceed with this job, his memory will be on my mind every day, and I'm going to approach this job just like Billy Gillespie would have, just like Doc would have, just like Tony would have, and going into next year. And that all I'm going to try to do is what those men would do, and certainly what Don Haskins would try to do, and that is just try to get better and try to improve. And try to have some fundamentals in this program that will last. Appears to me that we have some fine talent here and an opportunity to have a fine team next year. As far as changes, I really haven't had an opportunity to evaluate what I would change. I can basically try to tell you that we're going to try to run a pro-style offense. When you see us defensively, it will look like Don Haskins' teams, because I have not changed one thing from those days. Our offense may change from year to year, just like Don Haskins' offense changed from year to year, because we will always try to fit our offense around the talents of the individuals that we have, versus I intend to try to work tirelessly to try to put together a championship level program here. What championship level am I talking about? Well, I think the only one that y'all can relate with is 66. Conference championships probably don't mean much to you, and I've won a few of those along the way, and they probably don't mean as much to me anymore. So we'll be trying to put together a squad and a team that can go win it all. I'm going to have individual meetings with our players tomorrow morning. One more thing I took from Don Haskins. If you ever talk to him as a group, they always think you're talking to the other guy. Talk to them individually, and then you'll really find out, they'll really hear what you're saying. So we're going to talk tomorrow individually. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Coach Brett once listed El Paso Times. It seems like the previous 3 coaches, everybody was sort of waiting, expecting them to leave for a better job. Could you see this being your last stop?
You know, I said that at SC, and it was going to be my last stop. I've never wanted to be at a place where I wasn't wanted. I've got a lot of confidence in myself and my abilities and what I think I can do. And as long as the people want me here, I can't imagine wanting to be anywhere else.
Coach, Alicia Caldwell with the Associated Press. Obviously, the way you left SC left some questions in the minds of certainly the NCAA. USC has self-sanctioned after finding internally rule violations. Yeah. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, USC self-sanctioned the basketball program over institutional control violations.
But the NCAA investigation is still out there.
I don't want anybody to be confused with my leaving USC as an admission of guilt. I chose not to try my case in the media, like many other people try to do things in today's time. I left because of lack of support. I chose to have my case heard where it should have been heard, with the NC2A, which I did a month ago. And I feel very, very, very confident about how the one allegation against me will work out. One thing I'd like to point out is I was aware of their allegation 6 months before it came out, okay? And in the meantime, I had an opportunity to leave and go to the University of Arizona and the University of Memphis a year ago. And I chose to stay. If I had felt like I had done something wrong, I think I probably would have left and taken another job. But I chose to stay because I knew that I had done nothing wrong. And I'm glad that this university chose to do their due diligence, do their background work, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate them and the other universities that wanted to hire me this spring. And I look forward to building something here that everybody can be proud of.
Coach Floyd here on ABC 7. If Coach was here today, and I think we all wish he was here today, what would he say about all this?
He'd say, that was good, but let's go have a beer.